Okay, so, we've all been there, right? Like sending out resumes and it's like tossing them into a black hole sometimes. You're lucky to hear anything back. And then when you do, it's like, thanks, but no thanks. It's
Yeah.
brutal out there. So today we're doing a deep dive into what's up with hiring. And get this, we've got a former CEO with us, someone who's actually been making those hiring decisions.
Yeah, so many people think about job hunting like it's a perfectly rational process, and all you got to do is like check the right boxes and boom, offer. But it's definitely not always that simple.
For real. And our guest today is not afraid to tell it like it is. Like they said straight up, HR is not your friend. Their loyalty is not to you, it's loyal to the company. Kind of a punch in the gut, honestly. What do you think about that coming from, oh, the CEO's chair?
Yeah, it can sting a little hearing that, but it helps to remember HR. They're like the protectors of the company. They're trying to make the safest choices for the company, not for you, unfortunately.
So it's less about them being against you and more like they're just trying to make sure the company doesn't go down in flames.
Exactly. And that explains a lot of what job seekers hate, like ghosting.
Ugh, the worst. You think an interview went well then? Crickets. It's like, come on.
It's rough, I know. But you got to see it from their side too, right? They get bombarded with applications. Giving everyone a personal response, it just wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. Still frustrating, though. Okay, so our guest also mentioned these things called ghost jobs, which sounds kind of spooky. What are those?
Ever see a job online? Sounds perfect, and then like weeks later, it's back, but they change the wording a little.
Oh, yeah, it's like, wait, haven't I seen this one before?
Could be a ghost job. Some companies, they don't actually want to hire anyone yet. They're just testing the waters, seeing who's out there, what skills are hot right now, what kind of salary people want.
Hold on, so all that work, putting an application together, maybe it was just research for them.
Pretty much. Being qualified isn't enough, is the thing. Companies are super picky, got to be the right person at the right time. It's tough.
Well, like trying to hit a moving target. He also said something about the lowest risk candidate. What's that all about? Sounds kind of intense.
He's saying recruiters, especially in big companies, they really like predictability. They want someone who will get the job done, no drama.
Yeah, he actually said, shut up and do what they're told. Which, ouch, that's kind of harsh. But then there's all this advice about being yourself, letting your personality shine. How do we balance that with not rocking the boat too much?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Uh,
And it's not about being fake, but kind of like learning the rules of the game before you play. They
mm.
want to see you're good at what you do, dependable, and, well, he said likable, which is a whole other thing.
And likable is totally subjective. Like, depends who's interviewing you, right?
100%. It's a tightrope walk, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You got to be genuine, but also play the game. You know what I mean?
So, not changing who we are, but being aware of how all this looks from their side.
That's it. Strategic is the word, I guess.
It's like we need a secret decoder ring for this stuff. So, how do we do it? I mean, be strategic without feeling like, we're putting on some kind of act every time we apply for a job.
Honestly, it starts with how we think about the whole thing.
Yeah.
You are not your job application,
Right.
right? Like one company, they say no, doesn't mean you're not good enough. Remember what our CEO friend said? Don't ever let these people make you feel bad. You are not being judged in an absolute sense.
True, true. Easier said than done, though, when you're staring at like 5 rejection emails before lunchtime.
Oh, tell me about it. But here's the thing. A lot of times it comes down to fit. Like they had really specific stuff in mind, skills or experience, or maybe something's going on inside that company and you never even know. It's not you, it's them.
Right. Okay, that actually makes me feel a bit better, not gonna lie. It's not like I'm not amazing. It's more like I'm not their kind of amazing, at least not right now.
There you go.
Yeah.
And who knows what it could be. Maybe they already knew who they were going to hire, someone inside, or they changed their mind about the whole job.
Yeah.
Point is, you can drive yourself crazy overthinking it.
So true. It's like you can be the most delicious peach, perfectly ripe, and they're just not in the mood for a peach that day?
Love that. Which is why you got to just keep at it, right?
Yeah.
Our guest said something like, a lot of people get rejected when they apply to jobs until they get accepted. And it's so true. Finding the right job, it takes time.
Okay, so how do we keep our spirits up through all of that? Because, man, it's easy to get discouraged.
Well, our CEO pal, they had some good tips. Like casting a wide net.
Mhm.
Not just applying for everything, but being open to stuff you might not think of at first. Push yourself a little.
So, like, even those jobs, you look at them, you're like, meh, not sure. Apply anyway.
Why not? You never know. Plus, every interview, even the ones that don't go anywhere, it's practice. You get better at it. Talking about yourself, what you're good at, all that.
Practice makes perfect, as they say. Or at least practice makes you more confident, and that's gotta help. Speaking of confidence, he also said something about, like, you don't always gotta tell them if you're talking to other companies. Interesting. What do you think about that?
It's about having your own back, you know?
Yeah.
Companies, they're looking out for number one, and so should you. Doesn't mean lying, just you don't owe anyone your whole life story in an interview.
It's kind of like dating. You don't tell every first date about all your other dates, right?
Yeah.
Protect your energy. That's what I say.
Exactly. Boundaries. You have good stuff to offer, don't forget that. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's so easy to feel like you just gotta, I don't know, like bend over backwards, make them love you. It seems like everyone's looking for work these days.
Oh, totally. It's competitive out there, no question. Like you're just one tiny foe in a huge ocean, and you got to stand out somehow. Which, actually, our expert, he called the job search a numbers game. What do you think he meant by that?
Makes me think of basketball players. Like, they don't make every shot right, but they keep shooting. And eventually, some of them go in.
There you go. It's about not giving up. You're
Yeah.
going to miss some shots. That's just how it works. Wrong job, wrong time, whatever.
Hey.
No, it's just part of the process. It's not a judgment on you as a person.
Right. Like he said, a lot of people get rejected when they apply to jobs until they get accepted. So chin up, keep applying, don't take it personally, all that good stuff.
100%. And yeah, it's funny. He also said sometimes it feels like things just magically work out, but usually the magic, it comes after you've put in the work,
Yeah.
You've gotten better at the whole job hunting thing, and you're clearer about what you even want in a job, so you can spot a good fit when you see it.
Okay, so for anyone listening who's like knee-deep in applications, feeling lost, what's the one thing you'd want them to take away from all this?
I think it's easy to get so caught up in the game, like perfect resume, perfect answers, trying to be the perfect candidate. But honestly, your worth, it's not tied to any of that. The right job is out there, and they'll appreciate what you bring to the table. So to keep learning, keep going, and, don't be afraid to ask for what you're worth.
This has been awesome, seriously. I'm feeling way more confident about all this job stuff now. It's a journey, that's for sure. But if we understand how it works and we stay true to ourselves, well, we'll find the right fit eventually, right?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks to our amazing guest for all the insights and to all of you for listening. Keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, you got this.